And in the Ahmedabad edition of ET Now on the Go, now we are going to be speaking to the founder and CEO of Lendingkart. We have Harshvardhan Lunia, who's joining in with us, and to talk about this company. Lendingkart was founded in 2014, and they made big strides in the SME loan space. They're a non-deposit taking NBFC, and just in 10 years, they made a huge impact, focusing on the MSME side, the SME side, and the growth that they've seen. So talking about the Ahmedabad journey and everything to do till then in terms of their growth and profitability is what we'll be talking about. Harshvardhan, thank you so much for joining in with us on this special edition of ET Now on the Go. And you know what I want to start by is talking about since 2014 to now. What's been the journey of the company? What is the growth journey? Why did you pick Ahmedabad as a place to start your journey?
Sure. I think I've been born and brought up in Ahmedabad overall. So I think this was the natural location for me where lodging and boarding was paid, right? Well, my parents stay here. So if I wanted to do a startup and I also had a family at that time, I'd already got married and everything. So this was a place where I already had a house, a roof over my head and food on the table for some time, at least till I tried my hand. So Ahmedabad was a natural thing. And I've been born and brought up in Ahmedabad. Overall, so I have the ecosystem over here, friends, family over here. That's been there. So after I left my London job in 2010, the idea was to come back to India, start a startup, build it up and everything. And Ahmedabad was the natural location for that.
Absolutely. So an Ahmedabad boy making and starting his business journey also in Ahmedabad as a startup founder is something interesting. But Harshvardhan, let's talk about the MSME sector that you are in and the challenges that you face there. So, you know, what were the critical challenges that you faced? What are the growth triggers for the company? And, you know, some people call you even the best friend for MSMEs. So let's talk about that as well.
Yeah, totally. I think what's happening is we all see that the government's very proactive, right? I think for achieving the $5 trillion GDP dream of ours, I think we need to enable and empower MSMEs, right? Because they have been the backbone. If you today also look at it, 30% of our GDP and almost 45% of our employment comes from MSME space in the country. I think the need right now is to give them access to right amount of capital because the labor is already there. If they get right amount of capital and have access to capital, then they can grow, build and survive and overall grow the nation as well, right? So I think making funds accessible, whether it's in form of debt, whether it's in form of other forms of supply chain, stuff like that, is going to be critical. And I think that's where a lot of fintechs are coming up. Lots of fintechs are setting it up to enable them, empower them, to grow them and work with them. So that is what is happening. I think what's happening a lot of now, what we are also realizing is when we started out our business, a lot of it was kind of restricted to like tier 1 cities or top 25 and 50 cities in the country where major businesses, business hubs would be set up and their supply chains would be very close by and nearby. But now with growth of business, now with good roads, electricity, water and other infrastructure available in tier 3, 4 cities as well, a lot of people are preferring smaller towns and cities for setting up businesses, for setting up MSME businesses or supply chains to large corporates and everything. So that is where it is going, but the access to finance is still not reached there. So I think that's where our role comes in, where we go ahead with these guys, we work with them and give them supply of finance and enable them to grow their business. So I think this is the trend that we are seeing right now across India as well and across other geographies as well.
Right, Harshvardhan, now that's talking about the past, the journey so far, but what's the journey forward for the company, the expansion plans, next 3 to 5 years, where do we see Lendingkart heading?
So basically, we are an MSME specialist all across we just completed 10 years of our journey. It's been a wonderful journey of learning about micro and small businesses. How do they do their business? What kind of problems and challenges they face? How we can enable them and empower them. I think we want to continue on the same path for this segment itself. We started with one of the risky products with them, which is unsecured business loan. But now I think as we grow and become bigger and larger in this space, we want to give the same customer more financial products. And this we are thinking of venturing into secured products. We are thinking of venturing into credit card, and to enable and empower the same customer who we have given unsecured loan to other products as well. So I think in next 3-5 years, we will see a suite of more products from us or our side or along with our partners to give to the same customer and grow our relationship or our lifetime value with the customer, right? Currently, we only deal with him for one product that we try to service it him and overall help him. But now the idea would be to give the same micro and small business customer multiple products. It could be a home loan, it could be a auto loan, it could be a credit card, or it could be anything else that he requires either for his family, he requires for his business, peers, or associates. We want to do that to him and give him that.
Harsh, we've spoken about everything in terms of profits, the growth outlook for the company, and all the positives that you see in terms of triggers for the industry. But let's talk about your IPO plans. When should we expect a Lendingkart IPO?
Yeah, we frequently get asked that question. I have been already suggesting that we are normally the trustees of the money that investors put in us, right? Obviously, we have to provide our labor, and the management team and everybody puts in their labor, and the investors obviously want exit. I think our perspective has been that we grow to a reasonable size and scale. The business has become kind of nearly predictable, and more will become in the coming times and everything. I think another 18-24 months or that time frame we should be looking at. Obviously, it also depends on a lot of external factors, how the markets are behaving, how they are doing, and stuff like that. So, in cognizant of all of that, we will take calls, but obviously, you will hear soon about that.
Right, so 18 to 24 months is when we could be expecting the IPO for the company. That's something interesting. Hoping to get more updates on this soon as well, Harsh. But since you've been an Ahmedabad boy, what is that one thing you love about Ahmedabad?
I love the jaggery part of food that's actually put in Gujarati dishes, right, overall. Also, along with that, I love the fafdas, the doklas, and everything that we are known for in Gujarat as such. So, love the Gujarati food.
Okay, Harsh, thank you so much for joining in with us on ET Now on this special edition of ET Now on the Go in Ahmedabad.